Well, hello there people, it's I, Captain of the Steves, and today I just want to do a little bit of speculation around sort of what I'm hearing about freighters. Now, there's a little bit going on inside the verse. It's probably best if I jump over to my podcast mode and maybe show you what I'm seeing inside of the verse so you can get your speculation into order. Okay, right, so here we go, let's have a quick look-see. Oh, I just hit a level 210 in Elden Ring. What in the heck? You still can't take out the fire giant. No, it seems levels do very little. It's more the level of your weapons that counts, I find, anyway. So here we go. Let's head on over to podcast mode. Boom! Righto, so now you can see this lovely little window that goes on into the infinite background. Let me know if you can see my PC screen, which would be lovely. So this was actually put up by the Procedural Traveller the other day. Now this is actually inside of the patch notes. Now if I click this image so you can make it a bit bigger, you can see in the background here that the walls look very different to what you're seeing in-game. In-game, the walls are very flush, very flat. But you can see here, this has got all these sort of frills and chevron-y type parts. Procedural Traveller with his eagle little eye peepers spotted this first inside of the verse. At least I haven't seen anybody else talking about it other than the Procedural Traveller. I think Cueball did a speculation video on it the other night. So yeah, interesting. Now, I'm trying to replicate this inside of normal mode, well actually creative mode, which I'll jump into. I'll jump in game a bit later and I'll show you what's over there. Let me just check that people can see what I'm sharing on screen. So yeah, I believe they can. I've got a little window pop up in the bottom. Yes, you can see what's going on there. That's lovely. Righto, I can't see my live chat at the moment, so I'll come back to live chat in a moment. So if I jump over to the actual patch notes, just to show that, you know, it hasn't been doctored in any way, you can see it over here. This is the actual official No Man's Sky website. You can see up in the top right hand corner, although it's a little bit darker on my screen there. But can I adjust my brightness? I don't know if that changes stuff for you. That's as bright as it gets on my laptop. So I'd guess it's been brightened up a bit over on PT's end. But yeah, it looks freaking interesting, doesn't it? We're going to try and replicate that in creative mode a bit later on. Okay, so if I go on over to here. Now, freighters have had a little bit of a facelift in the past. Let me just jump back to my actual live chat, make sure I haven't missed anything over here. So if I go back to me, lovely jobby. So yeah. Hey Captain and chat, says James MC. Well, welcome James MC. We've also got Guffroom in the house. Hello there. Zoo Games. I just mentioned Zoo. Zoo did a video on this the other day. Check out Zoo's video because he's done a speculation video on this. It's only about 3 minutes long and it's freaking awesome. So yeah, check out Zoo as well because he's going into the same stuff. And you've also got Archangel here. Hello there, Captain. You get to see Zoo's take on stuff as well there. Jägermeister. Well, there's new lift pieces for the freighters in the files. Yes, Jaeger, there is. I'm going to get to that. All right, I better jump back over to my content before all you guys spill the freaking beans. Okay, right. So let's go back to podcast. Let's jump back over to here. So, the freighters have had overhauls in the past. I'm going to show you what freighter bases used to look like years ago. I should have showed you the date really first, shouldn't I? So this was back in January of 2017. Now, you could do all sorts with your freighter bases back then, but let me just hit up a play on here, and I'll talk you through what's going on here. All these videos I've muted, but you can watch them in their entirety. All the videos I'm using inside of this, credit where credit's due, are in the video description, fair use and all that sort of shenanigans. So when you went into your freighter base, you had that round room, and you had like a little stash of where you could keep all your sort of freighter parts if you did disassemble your freighter base. You could put round rooms in here as well. So the base building in your freighter was very similar to base building in bases back then, and there was very limited parts. I mean, what we've got now I think is actually better than what used to be in yesteryear. But that said, you can actually make 2-tier high rooms. You could put ramps in, and you could have like little, you could actually put in floor panels, and you could have the rounded lip. Look, there's the ladders there that I'm on about. You can actually go up these little rounded ladders and go to a second floor. But not only that, you could delete ceiling panels, so you could see down into the previous floor as well. So there were things that I liked about previous yesteryear freighter base building that has been subtracted from current iteration. And then there's a lot of enhancements that we've got. So I'd like to see a meld happen where we can still build out those higher tier rooms and stuff inside of our freighters. But yeah, it has got a very kind of nice vibe to it. When you watch back these old iterations, you're like, why did they change that up? But then you see how things are now and how things mesh together a lot better and a lot tidier. I mean, look, there's just boxes floating in midair there and things. So there's been vast improvements. But you can see here, all I'm trying to put across is freighters have had serious overhauls in previous. And I'm fairly sure if Hello Games wanted to, they could yet again do another overhaul of freighter base building. But there we go. You can see that video in its entirety in the video description as mentioned. So let's move on to the next tab. So this one here is a bridge mod. So yeah, if you're fed up with the way that your bridge actually looks, take a look at this mod that someone's got installed. Now this is over on No Man's Sky resources, and yeah, I think this was posted about 2 years ago or so. Let me just skip it up. So I just wanted to leave this bit of footage in to show that it is actually a freighter, but it's kind of obvious it's a freighter when you get to the freighter bridge. Now there are mods there that make the actual freighter bridge look more like that of Star Trek, where you've got individual consoles and all sorts going on. So yeah, check out Freighter Bridge mods, because this isn't the only one out there, I don't think. But look how clean this looks. And there's loads of windows. There's loads of windows as well. So you've got loads of visual displays, lots of sort of free space to build in here and make it your own, which I really like. I really kind of wish that if there was a Freighter Overhaul, they'd bring us in the way to build out different sorts of freighter bridges. Because at the moment we're kind of stuck with one sort of one, aren't we? Which is a bit of a shame, but there we go. That's enough of video. It's inside the video description if you want to see that in its full entirety. But I'd love it if Hello Games takes some inspiration from that. Okay, so you're probably thinking, well, what is actually inside of game, or inside of the game files? Beeblebum done a very good video on this. There's Beeble down there, heck yes. Let me just make this nice and full as well. And this is where he starts putting in the parts. So they've found planters in there, new planters, and they've found new lifts as well. You can see here the lift at the moment is wafer thin, which doesn't look all that great, but you get the basic principle of the idea. It just sort of goes up and down on its own. Whether you could actually connect this to some sort of switch so you could interact with it and call it in and bring it up and down. But look, it's working, essentially, as a lift. But what I like about this video is it shows that you can build mezzanines outside of your freighter, a little bit like frigates when you're walking in space on your frigates. It looks like you can have base parts that actually take you outside of your frigates. It's got like little railings around the outside. So your freighter base doesn't have to be in the confines of the freighter. We'd be able to build on the outside of our freighter as well, like Beeble's done here. He's got a landing pad there. He's got an actual teleporter as well, which is pretty cool. And it looks like this could be a legit thing, because you can even recolor these and texture these. I mean, Beeble's brought these in by replacing parts out, so the behaviours here might not be as Hello Games intend, and this is very early game files, and they've actually removed all this from the latest patches. So it could have just been something they've been working on and never intend to bring into game. A little bit like the incinerator. I'm still very sort of out on that one. I mean, that yes, they've programmed in haptic feedback, but have we actually seen it brought into iteration yet? No, we haven't. So it's a little bit concerning, that for me. Righto, so that's everything that I've got there when it comes to all that sort of shenanigans. So let's just close that down, and let's jump back over to my live stream. And I'm going to jump over to in-game. Okay, so let's bring up in-game. I've just claimed a freighter. And now I want to try, let me just move that camera a tad. Oh, wrong way, this way. Lovely jubbly. That's a bit better. Right. Oh, you may have noticed I'm wearing my Gundam vest top and it matches my Gundam wall art as well. Pretty nice, huh? Yeah. What was the chance of me finding that online? It's pretty darn sweet. Anyhow, let's have a quick look-see. Oh, we've got Ricey in the house and Beeble. Beeble just came in just at the right time. Heck yes, if you haven't checked out Beeble, you haven't checked out Zoo, check out both their channels, because they've got a little bit on all this freighter-y type stuff, which is pretty darn freaking sweet. So yeah, check them out for reals, and hit that sub while you're over there. That'd be freaking nice. Right, okay, well let's head on through this freighter and let's see if we can replicate some of what we're seeing inside of this corridor. Now, I'm fairly sure I can replicate what we're seeing inside of that video, because look, you've got large room B. Large room B, if I delete something that's already here, so if I delete these out, and then go back into there, and put in large room B, you can see that it's got those same sort of chevrons that we were seeing inside of the Twitter post. Look, that looks very much like what we were seeing. The only thing is, you can't delete this corridor here. So if I try to delete this corridor, look, it says not removable, not removable. And if I try to put that in, I can't. So well, let's try removing this wall here. Let's see if I can delete this wall. Yes, I can. Can I delete the next one though? I don't think it would let me. No. Okay. All right. So delete, not removable. Okay. Delete, 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 delete. Wow. Okay. And no. Kapow. Right, okay, that's the wrong room. I want this one. So let's try putting that in. No, it just sort of disappears into the freaking wall, doesn't it? So that's a bit weird. So it looks like I can't replicate it in this corridor. That's really janky. Alright. It keeps unselecting my blanking room for some reason. What the heck has it done? Okay, that was weird. Let's try that again. I've got it there. Oh, no, I haven't. What the... Okay, well, that's just broken. If you try to build on this wall, you get brokenness upon brokenness. But yeah, you can see what I was trying to do here. It could be that Hello Games is going to make that corridor editable, or maybe inside of dev mode it's editable, and they've just added in some of these sort of chevron-y type rooms. I mean, that's at least how it looks to me. However, even the doorway in the Twitter post oh my god, that just looks really freaking weird. Now, how do I put that back in? Oh great, well that's broken, that hasn't it? Let's just try deleting it then. Wow, there we are. That kind of looks about right again. But yeah, I can't put in that type of wall there, which is real weird. That's just weird. That's weirdness. Yeah, so I can't replicate it in that corridor is what I'm getting at. But you can see in here that it's starting to take shape and looking a bit like what we're seeing inside of that Twitter space. They're really different though. The screenshot on PC's Twitter posts are more bulky, similar to the derelict freighter parts. They are a little, aren't they, people? Yeah, I do know what you mean. I mean, I've seen Moose Gaming has been playing with some of the bin files that he's found inside the game files, and he's been trying to put them into his 3D printer, and he's found some dungeon parts that look very in keeping with a mixture of what you find on derelicts, but then things just don't kind of marry up to what we're seeing on derelicts. They look more like what Procedural Travelers spotted inside of that sort of video, well, that sort of still image from the actual patch notes. So yeah, I'm kind of with you. It does look a little like this, but not quite. They do stick out further, don't they? So if I jump back to podcast mode, let me just have a quick look. Let's go back over to the Twitter space. Yeah, they're over there, aren't they? But we can see it better here. Yeah, they do really kick out at the bottom, don't they? They really, really do come out at the bottom a lot further than what I've managed to replicate inside of game. Let me just grab this. Let's copy that. Let's just jump into Photoshop. There's my lovely thumbnail that I've been working on. Sometimes I have to go to File New twice for it to actually pull in properly. But here we go. Let's have a better look. And let's zoom right in, just on this little square up here. Wow. Yeah, I don't even think we've got in-game parts. I mean, look at this doorway. That looks like it's even further forwards than the normal doorway than what we get inside of game right now. I mean, if I scroll over to here, you can see the doorway is set further back. You can see the part of the corridor sticking out there. But here, that doorway is right there, right away. A little odd. That is a little odd. It has to be said. I do think PT has hit onto something here. I think we might be getting different types of freighter that we might be able to pick up. Because at the moment, everybody's freighters look very samey and very similar. I really don't know what to make of it, but it does seem that there could be something on the cards in way of Overhaul. Yeah, so I honestly do think that something is afoot. Something is being messed with, but will it ever make it into iteration? Like I mentioned about the incinerator, it's like inside the game files you can find this little wind turbine. I think I've still got it in my download files. Let me just have a look see if I've still got it in my download files. Let me see if I can bring it up for you. Wind turbine object. Let me just bring that up. I'll load it up. I'll bring it up on your screen. I know you can't see it at the moment. Just be patient while I just bring this up. Okay, right. So now if I jump over to here, go back to podcast. Hopefully you're going to be able to see. This is a wind turbine that Moose Gaming sent me from the game files. But this has been in there for freaking eons. And you can see that it's got no sort of electrical hookups or anything like that either. But apparently it's labelled as wind turbine. So as well as having solar panels, maybe on planets with wind or whatever, you might be able to put one of these down. And then, by the looks of things, this little thing up here might even spin. So yeah, but I think this has been in the game files for freaking ages. I don't think this is anything new. And that's the thing with the game files, is there's a lot in there. There's a lot in there that hasn't been used or hasn't been brought into iteration to date. It's like on those new pirate stations. You get the cannons at the front, the gun cannons, the gun mounts. Well, yeah, they've been brought in, but they've been in the game files for freaking eons. So, who knows? Who knows is what I'm going with us on this, but at the same time, I just want to make you aware of what's going about in the verse, what's being suggested as could be coming into potential update in the future, and I'll be all for a freighter overhaul. And those base parts that Beeble put out there, with the mezzanines going outside, that would really help with the versatility, well, the diversity of what people can build in game. Building out on mezzanines would look quite cool. At least you can look up at all your frigates while you're running around your base. It makes more sense having your frigates then, doesn't it? Really does, in my opinion. But yeah, I really do hope. I mean, they've already increased what you can do in base building on planets. So it kind of makes sense that the next logical step for base building on freighters, since that's the other part that's untouched at the moment, and maybe even underwater bases in time, perhaps that might get a bit more love. I don't know. But anyway, you guys out there in the viewerverse, I'd love to hear all your thoughts and feelings and comments. So if you've put something inside the chat notes, I'll read through in a second. See if there's anything else going on here. Let me have a quick look-see. Okay, nice Atlas Galacticus. I will check it out. What's Atlas Galacticus said there? Let's have a quick scrolly back up. Where did I get to? Ahoy there, me hearties. Backhand down the hatches and prepare the freighters. There be a rough meteor shower up ahead. Dead man, tell no tale. Nice Atlas Galacticus. That's the way to enter into a chat, isn't it? Freaking heck. Alright, awesome. Let's scroll on down. Yeah, imagine that if there are sort of meteorite showers in space and stuff, or even the spatial anomalies coming in where you've actually got out on your freighter mezzanines and stuff. That'd be pretty darn sweet. Right, okay. Hiya, what's going on, says Ian Henderson. We're just speculating about things that were seen inside of the actual patch notes. Procedural Travellers put a tweet out there that shows that the actual freighter hallways look very different inside of the screenshot to what we can actually do in game right now. And it's just got a bit of speculation going. It's just a healthy bit of debate around sort of ideas and what might be toying with in the Hello Games studios right now. Cool. Nice Atlas Galacticus. Sweet. Hello there all. Okay, cool. I wasn't explaining to the chat that you made a video about the freighter parts or some sort. Oh, sweet. Coolio. There's a lot of sort of bits and bobs bouncing around here. I'm just seeing if anybody else has got any ideas before I end off. I think the freighter update is for sure next, but nothing new than what we're already told. Yeah, but I kind of got that same sort of feeling, but I am hoping maybe to be able to adjust your freighter bridge layout as well. Because I've seen this for time now and it's got a bit stale. I know you can build on your freighter bridge, so if anybody doesn't know, if you stand in your corridor, you can still bring up your build menu and then you can build out on your bridge. So say if I wanted, you know, an extra chair just here for no freaking reason, oh, okay, not there, but up here I could stick a chair in or whatever. So there's places you can build and there's places you can't build on your freighter bridge. But yeah, you know, you could build like a little mini bar up here if you wanted to or whatever. But you are kind of limited in what you can do. It's like there are places that you can't build. But that's probably because you could end up intersecting something that you would interact with on that center console. But it'd be nice to have different freighter bridges, I think. That'd be freaking nice. So other than what we've seen inside game files, there's like a new area for planting. There's lifts, there's mezzanines to build outside. And yeah, lifts is quite cool though, isn't it? Anyhow. But yeah, even place-to-place teleporters on your freighter might be nice. Yeah, or even a different sort of teleporter. It'd be nice to have something like that looks, because you can come in here with 4 players, and the teleporter at the moment, if you put one down, is just the round one we've got. It'd be nice to have something that looks a bit more Star Trek-y with little pads, like for 4 people to stand on, like a whole fire team, to make the freighters feel like they're made for fire teams, not just an individual. That'd be quite nice. A few more multiplayer parts. It's like the appearance modifier. Again, it's for 1 person, but it'd be nice to see like maybe pods or something. Yeah, just things that make it feel like it's a multiplayer space, and maybe a way to run multiplayer missions from your freighter. Because at the moment, the only place you can run multiplayer missions is the Nexus, and in the Nexus you can get people holding up different sorts of missions. It'd be nice to have our own mission terminus on our freighter, so this is where we initiate multiplayer things from. So what I'm getting at, it'd be nice to see our freighters used as multiplayer spaces and bases. That'd be freaking excellent. Like a little mini player hub, like your own little mini fire team hub. That'd be freaking great. I think they could be onto something if they did that. Expeditions ending around next week, and the poster's really going quickly. We might see an update at the end of this month. Beeble, I think there might be a reason why those decals went a little bit quicker the other day. Apparently some modders inside of game files, don't really want to name them, they're in talks with Hello Games at the moment to see if they stuff something up. You know, the third decal unlocked super quick, like at the same time as the second decal. it could be that that was down to something that's happened inside of the verse. So yeah, they're waiting on a reply at the moment, and hopefully if me and Kurt are going to be doing our podcast next Sunday, that's why I'm kind of doing my own little mini speculation video this Sunday. I was saving all this to do this with Kurt this Sunday about all this freighter stuff as well. But yeah, I'm going to fly over to the Nexus and we'll have a look how it's getting on with unlocking at the moment. But yeah, I might have more to tell you on that front next Sunday with Kurt, depending on if they get a response from Hello Games and whether we can work out whether it was down to the community or whether it was just down to some botchness inside of the actual verse. But yeah, we have got a little bit to talk about when it comes to the unlocking of Quicksilver items and what we've found out so far anyhow. But it's kind of obvious, I think. But anyway, that's next Sunday. I don't want to give too much away. Tune in next Sunday for that 1616 podcast. Beeble also does his own podcast at the moment called Studio 16. Don't get the two confused. Studio 16 is great. Beeble usually has a guest on and they talk about stuff in depth. A lot of stuff to do with base building, but also other things in the files and all sorts of other magical stuff and white wishes and wants and stuff. So if you haven't checked out Beeble's podcast, please do. It's freaking awesome. Okay, so let's go to create from Quicksilver. Yep, we're on 89% for this decal here. Pretty nice. And then there's one more decal to unlock. Now, if you have got the No Man's Sky Assistant app installed upon your mobile devices, let me just make me nice and big again. I go into the Mobile Assistant app. Okay, so here's the Mobile Assistant app. If I just hit those three lines at the top there, and on this side menu, I choose Community Missions. It shows these decals, and it shows you how much time is to unlock. So even if you're not in game, you can see whether something new is unlocked. But not only that, if you scroll down, you've got this button. You can see what's next in the game files. And look, there's 3 posters. And if you can't see those posters, you can click on the poster, click it again up there, and you can see a lovely, nice, big image of it. So that's the first one that's going to be in game. I really like that. That'll make a nice display, wouldn't it? Let's go back again, and I'll hit up the next one. There you go, that's the next one. I really, that's my favourite. I think that's going in my man cave in game. That's freaking great, that one. Go back and back again, and the last one is this one that shows all the sort of ship designs on there. I don't know whether it actually shows off the ships that we've got now, you know, the sail ships or whatever, the solar ships. I don't think they're in there. But yeah, pretty darn freaking nice. So if you've got the No Man's Sky app installed upon your phone, or your mobile device, any mobile device really, or tablet, I guess, and yeah, you can see all this stuff, and it gives you all the recipes, where to find things. Not only that, if you're struggling to find other people to play with, you can go to Friends Codes. And in Friends Codes, you can see there I'm at the top of the list. So if you ever want my Friends Code, there it is. But there's Procedural Traveller, Survival Bob, Cue Ball, Vanilla. There's all sorts of people in here. And, you know, hit up a few of them. Hopefully you'll find somebody that you can play with. I mean, content creators like myself, we're often creating content when we're actually in game. So you probably won't be lucky enough to jump in and join me unless it's the egg giveaway or something. That's pretty nice to have, isn't it, you know? But there we go, people. So that's pretty much everything that I've got for you inside of the verse when it comes to what's in game files, what other people have been saying. Let's have a quick scroll down, see if there's anything else that's been added in the meantime. Okay, go for him. Thank you for the info cap. Salutations and all. Oh, we got Meogi in the house. Just talking about the egg giveaway. There's a good old Meogi. Pretty nice. They are sort of toying, him and Starship Emporium, in bringing in the Sentinel ship, but it's more of a reskin of a ship. But it's just to show what it looks like with its landing gear, little flashing lights and things. I'm really eagerly looking forward to either seeing Rice's Starship Emporium or Meogi putting out a video in very near future. So if you haven't already subscribed to Starship Emporium and also Meogi, please do, because they're always coming up with awesome finds inside of the verse. Sweet. So yeah, coolio. We've got James MC there. Nice. Just having a quick look. Well, I better go now, since the stream is about to end. Well, take care, Atlas Galacticus. Yes, I'm about to end off. I'm going to go get a black currant, and I haven't had breakfast yet, actually. I'm going to have some brekkie. Don't know what to have for brekkie yet. I think my missus just defrosted some bacon. Maybe a bacon sarnie and a nice cup of tea. That'd be lovely. Anyhow, Space Cadet in the house. Hello there, Captain Steve, chat, and happy Sunday, everyone. Yes, happy Sunday. Enjoy what's left of your weekend. I think we're going over to our allotment later as well, so I needed to get this done. But anyway, people, have a good one, and yeah. Take care. See you out there amongst the stars, travellers. Cheery bye. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again.